This is the Engines of Our Ingenuity, made possible by the Friends of KUHF Houston.
Today, an analogy changes our world. The University of Houston's College of Engineering presents this series about the machines that make our civilization run and the people whose ingenuity created them. The name Edison effect has been given to a phenomenon Edison observed in 1875, although it had been reported 2 years earlier in England. Edison refined the idea in 1883 while he was trying to improve his new incandescent lamp. The effect is this. In a vacuum, electrons flow from a heated element, like an incandescent lamp filament, to a cooler metal plate. Edison saw no particular value in the effect, but he applied for a patent anyway. Edison patented anything that might ever be of value. Today we call the effect by the more descriptive term thermionic emission. In any case, the magic of the effect is that electrons can flow only from the hot element to the cool plate, but they cannot flow the other way. Put a hot and a cold plate in a vacuum and you have an electrical check valve, just like the check valves in water systems. Today we call a device that lets electricity flow only one way a diode. It was 1904 before anyone put the effect to use. Then the application had nothing to do with light bulbs. Radio was in its infancy, and the English scientist John Ambrose Fleming was working for the British Wireless Telegraphy Company. Fleming faced the problem of converting a weak alternating current into a direct current that could actuate a meter or a telephone receiver. Luckily, he'd previously consulted for the Edison and Swan Electric Light Company of London. The connection suddenly clicked in his mind. He later wrote, "To my delight, I found that we had in this peculiar kind of electric lamp a solution." Fleming realized that an Edison effect lamp would convert alternating current to a direct current because it let the electricity flow only one way. So he created the first vacuum tube. By now, vacuum tubes have largely been replaced with solid-state transistors, but they haven't vanished entirely. They still survive in modified forms in things like television picture tubes and X-ray sources. Fleming lived to the age of 95. He died just as World War II was ending, and he remained an old-school conservative. Born before Darwin, he was anti-evolution to the end, and yet even his objection to Darwinism had its own creative turn. The use of the word evolution to describe an automatic process is entirely unjustified, he wrote, turning the issue from science to semantics. Semantics marked Fleming's invention as well. He always used the term valve for his vacuum tube. In that he reminds us that the true inventor takes ideas out of context and fits them into new contexts. Fleming stirred so much together to give us the vacuum tube, light bulbs, radio, and water supply systems. But that's how invention works. Inventors turn bread mold into penicillin, coal into electricity, and, at least figuratively, lead into gold by refusing to keep any thought in its own container. I'm John Lienhard at the University of Houston, where we're interested in the way inventive minds work.